Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, an investigation is launched after a BB gun is found in a backpack at a Victoria middle school. Plus, a local woman is indicted on multiple felony charges, including mail theft and drug possession. And Victoria is sounding the alarm on Child Abuse Awareness Month with a special event, and there's a way you can get involved too.
Well, temperatures are going to be moving up into the 80s today, but with a little humidity, it's going to feel even worse than that. The heat index is back, and we'll be talking about it coming up in a moment.
And fans pay tribute to Selena on the 30th anniversary of her death. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Shawna Currie. School resource deputies launched an investigation after finding a BB gun at Cade Middle School. This afternoon, Victoria County Sheriff's Office school resource officers got a tip about a possible weapon around 1:40. After talking with several students, they tracked down a backpack and found the BB gun inside. They say no threats were made and no one was hurt. There were no arrests as deputies are still investigating. The city of Victoria is hosting 2 public meetings to share details on the proposed venue tax that will be on the May ballot. If it's passed, the plan would raise the hotel tax from 7% to 9% and add a 5% rental car tax. These would bring in an estimated $11 million towards a $35 million renovation of the Victoria Community Center. The meetings will be at the Victoria Community Center from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight, and one to 3 p.m. on April 14th. And if you plan to vote in this, then you must be registered by April 3rd. Early voting runs April 22nd through April 29th. Mail-in ballot applications are due by April 22nd, and Election Day is May 3rd. A Victoria grand jury has indicted a local woman on charges of mail theft, financial crimes, and drug possession. Prosecutors say 28-year-old Corey Trevino had mail from more than 80 addresses, at least 20 of them containing personal information. She's also accused of forging checks and attempting to use someone else's debit card. Authorities say Trevino was found with less than a gram of methamphetamine. Her trial is set for April 30th. You can expect some loud noise in Victoria tomorrow. First responders and area churches plan to sound sirens and ring bells at noon, as April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. First responder vehicles will park at the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center. This is video from last year's event. Hope of South Texas Children's Advocacy Center organizes the event and encourages everyone to set an alarm for noon tomorrow. And all drivers in the vicinity of the Dr. Patty Dodson Public Health Center can sound their horns at noon as well. The slogan this year is "Don't be alarmed, be aware about child abuse." This brings us to our viewer poll today. Will you participate in tomorrow's sound off for child abuse awareness? Yes, I'll be setting my alarm or honking. I'll participate in other ways, or I'm unable to participate. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And right now, just over half, 57%, say that they will participate in child abuse awareness in other ways, aside from the sound off. Continue voting. We'll have the latest numbers on 25 News now at 6. Well, the hot and humid has returned. It's definitely feeling like springtime in South Texas. Let's go to Matt Perez for our first look at our forecast for the week. Matt?
After that wonderful rain, okay, we got to deal with the remnants of it. Yes, it's a little humid out there and it's very warm. Interestingly enough, we have a little frontal system just around about maybe I-10. I think Gonzales, and you go north to Seguin, they're actually looking at somewhat drier air, but this frontal system is not going to last for very long. It's going to fall apart. So the heat and the humidity are the story for the week, but there's hope. In about 5 days, it'll actually turn cooler. We'll have a lot more on your weather coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Back to you.
After a recent tragedy, some Las Cruces, New Mexico parents are turning to firearm education to promote safety and responsibility. Instructor Donna Stryker says starting young helps kids learn proper handling and respect for firearms. A local class gives children hands-on safety training in a controlled environment. Parents like Susanna Harper say this knowledge can help kids recognize and avoid dangerous situations.
If they're ever in a situation where somebody else is handling a gun in an unsafe manner, that they're able to recognize it right away and ensure that they remove themselves from that situation.
Stryker, who runs Stryker Shooting World, hopes more parents get involved to prevent misinformation and unsafe habits. The Victoria County Public Health Department is reminding residents to register for the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry if they need extra assistance during emergencies. To find out more and read the full article, visit crossroadstoday.com. Today marks 30 years since Tejano music icon Selena Quintanilla's passing. Fans are honoring her by visiting her gravesite and leaving flowers in Corpus Christi. Selena rose to fame in the early 90s with hits like Bitty Bitty Bom Bom and Como La Flor. She made history in 1994 as the first female Tejano artist to win a Grammy. She was tragically killed a year later at just 23. Her killer, Yolanda Saldivar, remains behind bars and was denied parole last week. Despite her short life, Selena's legacy continues to inspire generations.
So talented. She was a talented, beautiful woman to look up to as a Latina, you know. Even today, the girls who never got to meet her but saw her story, they're still very influenced by her.
In 2017, Selena received a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in 2021, she received a posthumous Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you receive alerts when we post new videos to our YouTube channel. Stay with us straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. Egg prices are cracking under less pressure, but Easter may scramble those gains. Plus, before you dig in the dirt, experts say there's a way to avoid back pain when gardening. With Easter just a few weeks away, consumers will be on the hunt for lower egg prices. The demand for eggs typically goes up this time of year. So could shoppers be paying more as the holiday approaches? Jen Sullivan looks at what's happening to egg prices.
The high prices of eggs may be beginning to crack. Last week, the wholesale price for white large eggs fell 26 cents to $3 per dozen, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. But prices at the grocery store are nearly double.
We are going to be in this for a while.
Emily Metz is the president and CEO of the American Egg Board. This has been a particularly challenging time for these farmers. It's led to a shortage. Some experts say grocery stores have also kept prices high to recoup lost profits, which is why shoppers are shelling out more for eggs.
We have experienced devastating losses as a result of this disease. It takes months and months to get back to being able to produce eggs again.
Here's the good news. In the month of March, prices have consistently come down each week, and that's due to a variety of factors. Fewer avian flu cases, the demand for eggs have dropped, and the Trump administration has pledged $1 billion to help combat the avian flu crisis, including purchasing eggs from other countries like Mexico and Turkey. Here's the bad news. With Easter and Passover coming up, the demand for eggs is expected to rise.
We're expecting that prices will go back up again. Easter is our highest consumption period of the entire year.
Experts are also worried that the spring bird migration could also make avian flu cases go up.
We're certainly hopeful that we can battle back against any cases that might result from spring migration, but we just truthfully don't know.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Stuffed animals are not necessarily just for kids. Experts say adults can sleep with them too, and some might even think it to be a good thing. It also appears to be getting more common. Plush sales grew during the COVID-19 pandemic. One industry expert says in 2024, about a fifth of plush toys were sold to adults over 18, and stuffed animals can help you with better sleep by giving the brain a signal that it's time to wind down. Gardening is a hobby that's gaining popularity. It can be fun, and experts say there's growing evidence that it's also good for physical and mental health. But working in the yard can take a toll on the body too. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on how to save your back while gardening.
It's time to get outside. Your backyard is blooming with possibility, and experts say gardening is good for you.
Being outdoors really helps you fight osteoporosis because it helps build vitamin D in your system. And gardening is exercise.
But Dr. Deborah Benzel with Cleveland Clinic Center for Spine Health says if you're not careful, the hobby can also wreak havoc on your back and body, especially if you are more sedentary in the winter months.
It's hard work, and just like any exercise, you have to prepare yourselves.
Before you head out to the garden, Benzel says to warm up and stretch, then take it slow. Start off in smaller intervals and don't try to do everything at once. Gradually increase time in the yard, which she says will build up your stamina, and focus on your form. Don't bend over because that can strain your neck and back.
You want to kneel, you want to sit on a chair, you want to use some kind of stool so that you're not bending over.
Finally, use good tools. Benzel says that can help enhance your ability to effectively garden and help avoid unneeded strain on the body. Afterwards, make sure you stretch.
To loosen up your back, to loosen up your shoulders, and help that recovery process begin to rebuild your body so that you can head out into the garden the next day.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Experts say to consider wearing a back brace or support if you plan on spending long periods of time working in the yard. It's important to listen to your body. If there's any sort of discomfort in the back, take a break. But if the pain persists, pay attention to it and reach out to a doctor if needed.
I'm going to play that tape for my wife so I have an excuse. I can't get that. It's too heavy. Anyway, folks, well, hope you had a good weekend. Today, the Gulf moisture is really racing back in as the south wind is getting reestablished. Our temperature right now at about 84. Winds out of the northeast for the moment. But by tomorrow, they'll definitely be out of the southeast. We managed to get up to 86 today after a morning low of 72. No significant rain on the horizon. However, the heat and the humidity will be with us for most of this week. We'll talk about it coming up in just a moment. Our military hero of the month is Master Sergeant Andy Rosales. It's a traditional Wednesday burger night at the VFW Hall on Lova Street. For generations, veterans, their families, and the community have been coming by to socialize and get a good burger at the hall. But running burger night and the community center doesn't happen by itself. It takes volunteers and someone who knows how to lead with a gentle hand.
I think I've been with the VFW like 11, 12 years. Out of those 11, 12 years, 8 of those 11 years, I've been the post commander. I'll tell you what I tell my people here. I really don't do anything. It's the volunteers that are here. All the volunteers that come in and they cook for burger night. They run all the burgers. All I do is I talk to some of the people.
As a young man, Andy was careful to pick his MOS, his military occupation specialty.
Be careful when the recruiters, you come up, you tell them you want a certain job. They go, oh yeah, you can have this. Because I told them, I said, you know what? I want a job that's going to put me inside and then go outside also. We've got what you want. We've got what you need. a tactical satellite operator, and this is great. You'll be working inside, where you did work inside in a small hut.
Andy elected to make his military service a 20-year career, and that had some good points and some bad points.
We got called up to go to as they called it, a humanitarian mission. Went to, excuse me, Somalia. Two tribes that were fighting against each other. They had two different types of money. There were certain areas that we weren't supposed to go to, but we still rolled through there. It was an experience that I try to forget. I didn't like that place.
Fair.
It was not considered I never considered it a humanitarian mission. I did not, because not the way we're being shot at and everything.
After retirement, Andy moved to Victoria and took another job that pays very well, but in a different way.
I get, as the post commander, I get the kudos, the pat on the backs and everything. But I don't think that I would be the post commander if it wasn't for all the volunteers that we have.
So do you get elected, or how do you run?
We get elected.
So you've been elected for this post 8 years in a row?
Yes, sir. So apparently I'm doing something right. All the brothers and sisters that you had in the service, they know more about you than what your family does. They know what you hurt, where you hurt, how you hurt. They know what you've been through. I've been blessed. I turned 62 years old. As soon as I turned 62 years old, I put my retirement paperwork in, and I retired for a second time. And that's it. So I spend a lot of time here.
For his work in keeping Burger Night going, and more importantly, for engaging with all of our veterans, Master Sergeant Andy Rosales is our Military Hero of the Month. If you know a veteran and you want to tell us about their story, go to our website, crossroadstoday.com/militaryhero. I'm Clovio Perez, 25 News Now. We got up to 86 today, but just to the north of us, there's this little frontal system here. They're getting actually temperatures upper 70s, so it's nice. But the thing is, the frontal system is pretty much stalled, and it's going to be rolling back up as a warm front. The southeast wind wins at this time of the year, but that is the tail end of the next big storm that's actually rolling through the eastern part of the country. High pressure is bringing that nicer air into the central part of the country. So if you went to Dallas today, they're probably in the low 70s, okay? We're on the hot and steamy side, and that hot and steamy stuff is really going to be winning over the next couple of days. Tonight, because of that Gulf air rolling back in, we're probably going to see a little bit of fog. As you can see, for your Tuesday morning, we should see some visibilities down to about 1/8 of a mile in some spots. So do watch out early in the morning if you're heading out the door. We're looking for fog not only for Tuesday morning, but likely for Wednesday morning as well, as all that moisture rolls back into the situation. Now here's a future tracker. As you can see very definitely, all that warm, humid air starts rolling up, and the low clouds will be fairly cloudy even though we're going to be really warm, we'll be fairly cloudy tomorrow and the next day as the inversion starts to build back in and keeps all that humidity down to the ground where we're going to be. But during the afternoon hours, this will burn off, and then wow, look at the temperatures. We're looking at 82 tomorrow, 88 on Wednesday, 90 on Thursday. Of course, you know, the heat index makes it warmer. And then 86 on Friday. Saturday, a weak frontal system does move through and gives us a break as we get into the early part of next week. So here's Future Tracker. There you can see the cloud deck rolling up. You can see how everything's pretty much moving northbound. The next frontal system then tracks across the Central Plains. We're getting too far south now. The southern end of that activity will be north of us, somewhere near Bastrop, Austin, and Smithville up there. And then you can see all of that stuff just staying way far for the north. It's not until we get to the weekend when we get a little bit of a break in the temperature. So a sprinkle or two possible in the morning hours. Basically, it's that real humid morning, getting down to 71, and tomorrow's high around 80, 82. But generally speaking, you're going to see a lot of cloud cover, but it'll still be fairly warm. So you'll feel that humidity for sure. Partly cloudy, or mostly cloudy early, and then partly cloudy by late in the afternoon, 82 to 84 out in Cuero. So as you can see, the clouds rolling back in, the hot weather and the humid weather for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's the morning stuff. And then Saturday, this actual front hopefully will make it through. Slight chance of a shower or two, but then look at that, 68 to 70 degrees next week. Sounds pretty good for this time of the year. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. I'd love for you to scan that, put Crossroads a Day on your phone. And here's Shawna.
All right, stay with us. Coming up next, President Trump's new tariffs could drive up prices on everything from cars to clothes. How Americans could feel the impact of new tariffs at the checkout line.
Get ready for the madness. Think you know college hoops? Prove it. Enter the Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Put your bracket up against sports director Max Williams and weekend sports reporter Ray Robinson. Dribble on over to crossroadstoday.com to enter on the contest page. Win it all and score a family 4-pack with a hotel stay and a roundup golf for 2 at Moody Gardens in Galveston. The Final Four Frenzy presented by Coastal Bend College. Brackets lock soon. Enter now.
The U.S. stock market was mixed at the closing bell today. The Dow gained 418 points, while the S&P 500 picked up 31, but the Nasdaq slid nearly 24 points. Oil is up $2.04 to $71.40 per barrel. Goldman Sachs is warning that the risk of a U.S. recession is growing thanks to President Trump's trade war. The bank says it could slow down growth, push inflation higher, and lead to more job losses. They've raised their recession odds to 35% in the next year, up from 20%. While Goldman still thinks the U.S. can avoid a downturn, other experts say it's a coin toss. Meanwhile, Trump is set to announce another round of tariffs this week. And President Trump's tariffs are set to kick in this week. The anticipation fueled economic uncertainty as consumers brace for price increases on everyday goods. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the details.
He's threatened to use them for months, but this Wednesday, President Trump is set to launch sweeping tariffs in a what countries tariff us, we tariff them approach, dubbing it Liberation Day.
The tariffs will be far more generous than those countries were to us, meaning they will be kinder than those countries were to the United States of America.
The president's retaliatory tariffs are expected to be passed on to American consumers, increasing the price of everyday goods, including electronics, produce, pharmaceuticals, clothes, and shoes in the coming weeks.
We've seen across every income group, every age, every demographic, every wealth strata, and every party affiliation, a major deterioration in consumer confidence.
By one estimate, the cost of a new car could spike at least $6,000 due to Trump's 25% tariffs on cars and auto imports. Responding to the expected price hikes, Trump said in a phone call with NBC News, quote, "I couldn't care less if they raise prices because people are going to start buying American-made cars." Economists warn it's not that simple.
Even those car makers that are most insulated from tariffs do get some kind of parts from abroad.
The fact is that we're going to sell overall fewer cars. And that means the folks at auto dealerships are going to have less cars to sell, and that's going to mean less jobs.
The tariffs have already impacted the cost of a new home. The National Association of Home Builders says steel and aluminum tariffs have made the cost of building a new house $9,000 more expensive. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Stay with us. Still to come, from classrooms to canvases, how crayons are taking center stage today. Don't go away.
This week, the global trade war intensifies with possible new tariffs on imported cars and car parts. What does it all mean for you, your family, and your money? World News Tonight with David Muir is the most watched newscast in America.
Whether you're a kid at heart, or an adult, the likelihood is you have used a crayon to write or draw. And today marks National Crayon Day. Artists around the world have used wax and chalk-based crayons for centuries. Edwin Binney created the brightly colored crayons most people are familiar with today. The year was 1903. Binney's company developed the Crayola division for children for the first time. And of course, the rest is history. Millions of people around the world use crayons today, and they continue to bring joy for artists and non-artists alike. Sometimes they're better than markers or pencils.
Well, it certainly is a rite of passage. I mean, I remember even today, you go to certain like older libraries, school libraries. It smells like Crayolas.
And you used to get the box with the sharpener in it.
And hey, do you have 18 colors or 48 colors?
I have the 120.
Oh my God, you're so lucky. Well, folks, for us, you don't want to leave your crayons outside because we're going to be moving into the upper 80s this week. It's a hot, steamy week, but there is hope on the horizon. That little front on Saturday will actually knock the temperature down back to the 70s. You know, it's so funny. In the Panhandle, tomorrow will be red flag warning, high fire danger, hot, dry, and next week, snow.
Oh, wow.
Go figure.
Can it blow the mosquitoes out too?
It'd be great if it did, let me tell you.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 6.